Congratulations. It's been a really, really amazing time with the man of God on your Love World. For 3 weeks now, we've just been learning so much, receiving so much. So, all the while, if you remember, on the station, we've had several discussions, and all the time you've been educating us on how the internet can be used to leverage on your business and on your endeavors and all of the things, that come with it, social media platforms, marketing, and all of that. And I do recall specifically on several occasions, you talked to us about the Internet of Things. We've discussed artificial intelligence and all of these things, and relating them to the things that Pastor has told us. Can you give us a picture of what could potentially happen if human beings start getting connected to the Internet of Things? Because that's where it's going, right? People, it's probably going to people being chipped so they can be tracked or monitored or connected. Can you give us a picture of potentially what that would be like?
Okay, so thank you. So what happened basically is, now let me give you an analogy. So you have a network right now, any of the network provider, and where you have different devices, and you have SIM card in each of those devices to communicate within the network. And once you have the SIM card within the gadget, then you can be able to do voice, you can be able to do data, you can be able to do any form of communication across the network. But the only hindrance there is you find communication you have a lot of what we call attenuation within the network, where you have, slow communication, data are not well transferred and all that. But if you need to make a call, you take your gadget based on the SIM card you have and dial that number within the network.
Yes.
Bring that same analogy into what we are having. And right now, human being is going to become the phone, and the chip in their body is going to be the SIM card. So it means that when you say, I want to make a call to someone's phone, you don't need to make a call to someone's phone. You are making a call to a human being as the phone, the body. So it means that IoT, the component of IoT is going to become, or each component of IoT is going to become human being as the component. So if I need to browse the internet, if I need to search anything, the data is in my body. I don't need to get the data somewhere. The storage is in my body. Possibly the SIM card will have a way to relate with my mind. So they have a total control of my body, what that means. So I'll have to explain this. Now, for that to communicate, for such communication to happen, we need a 5G. And that's where 5G concept came into being.
Yes.
Now, the danger parts of 5G, I'm not going to discuss about that. But the concept right here, the future that technology is looking at, is ability not to carry any gadgets anymore.
Okay.
Ability not to transact on any platform. So instead for you looking for a platform to transact, you are the platform. Are there health consequences to this? Of course. Are there going to be a lot of people having health issues relating to this? Of course. Will there be a lot of surgeries where we need to have data being implants beyond the SIM card that you have? Of course. Most organizations offering services right now, instead of having the services online, we now need to find a way to have the services in-chipped within the SIM card that you have in your body, the chip. So that means if I'm transacting anything with you, I need to find a way to ensure that that module can be included on the chip in your body. I'm very sure you saw at the mobile conference where Bill Gates, they couldn't allow a lot of videos to be shared and all that. You can see that people are using their body to authenticate when they buy something. That is where it is going.
Okay.
Lanre, yeah, go ahead.
Pastor told us, he explained to us from the scriptures, in the portion of the Bible that talks about that anyone who accepts the mark of the beast in their bodies, in this case being the microchip, is doomed, really, because it's like taking over your body, that you will no longer have a free will to serve God, because now you're going to be remotely controlled. Can you also explain that? How that someone who has a chip in them, it's not only is the person now becoming the platform for transactions, but more than that, the person's will, perhaps emotions, perhaps intellect is going to be overridden. You know, we used to see all these things in the movies, and, you know, we used to say, okay, wow, sci-fi, but it looks like it's going in that direction. So how does that happen?
So first and foremost, let's take this. The entire world is going into one world government, where we're going to have autocracy in place, where there will be one single person that's going to be in charge of the entire policy, using technology to control the world government. And this kind of government is not a government that wants to control countries alone, but I want to control homes and individual lives. Mm-hmm. So they are using the technology to control you as a human being, your body, your soul. I'm not sure about the spirit, all right? But your body, your soul, they are finding a way to let technology control it. And the only way you can achieve that is to consider every human being as a component, all right, within a technology ecosystem. Of course, the moment you have, you know, several times on Cyber Alerts, we've discussed about machine learning, we talk about artificial intelligence. Now, in this case, instead of using the artificial intelligence, those chipsets, once they put it in your body, they become a natural intelligence, no more artificial. So with that SIM card, the individual world governments, when I say world government, it means that one person is going to emerge that will control the entire world. That is where they are driving toward. If you hear clearly Bill Gates, when he's making a statement, he said very clearly that we are looking for one single platform where you could press a click and you can control everything around the world. That's where they are driving toward. So if the SIM card comes, I tell you the truth, the way the whole thing is going right now, they'll find a way to get the G7, G8 nation to come into beer. And of course, when G7, G8 nation come into beer, for African governments and all that, you just need to get a bait, or maybe money or something to get them on board. And once they can do that, you don't need to get a passport to travel anymore. You just need to have the chipset in your body. And once you have the chipset, you can go anywhere around the world. Of course, from the back end is a big data. Now they can have algorithm now to control human being, not the chipset, because the chipset is connected to every part of your body. Remember, I said no more artificial intelligence is now natural intelligence.
That's serious. All right, I would really love to talk some more, Lanre, but, you know, we have to go. But I will prevail upon the producers to bring you back tomorrow or next so we can talk a bit more about these things, because it's important. A lot of people are very, very excited. I've watched some videos in which people are actually happy of becoming cyborgs and being part machine and part human, and they're excited about it, not knowing the implications and the consequence of this, knowing fully well that they're going to be doomed forever. It's so sad, but that's the reason why we continue to pray and why we continue to preach the gospel everywhere, so that people will have the will to make this decision to live their lives for Jesus Christ. So thank you so much, Lanre. I will definitely